So finally I was able to finish the review of the Viper V3. I stopped using my main mouse, which is the Superlight 2. I mainly used the Viper V3 for 2 weeks, so I wanted to adjust to the Viper V3. It took me a while. It took me about 4 to 5 days to get adjusted to the Viper V3. I wouldn't say it was easy. I think it's because the shape of the Viper V3, which is very aggressive compared to other mice that I use. I also would like to say that I only played on 4K polling rate, even though that the Viper V3 can support up to 8K. This is because I wanted to compare the SL2, which can only support up to 4K polling rate. And also I noticed that there was some overshooting and things were faster than usual for me when I played on 8K. I think this is because the feet on the Viper V3 is slippery. So for the sake of the comparison and to be more fair, I had to play on 4K just so I can compare it with the Superlight 2. The shape of the Viper V3, I would say, is very aggressive. The hump is raised toward your knuckle, so you would feel the hump mostly in this area. And I remember first when I started using this mouse, I was actually trying to hold it this fashion. So this is an aggressive claw grip. So this mouse actually helped me to hold this mouse in this way, and I think this is the best way to hold this mouse and the most comfortable way for you to hold this mouse. And the mouse has good shape if you try to hold it in this way, because you see how slim the area between the thumb and the pinky. So basically I was trying to squeeze the area between the thumb and the pinky. So I noticed that there is some control as you try to control all your fingers when holding the mouse. I know a lot of people say that the Viper V3 is similar to the Superlight 2. I think it's not true. Once you try the Viper V3, you'll realize that the two serve different purposes. The hump on the SL2 touch your mid palm, where the hump on the Viper V3 touch the back of your knuckles, making it perfect for an aggressive claw grip. The mouse actually made me aggressively claw grip it, even though that I am a relaxed claw grip. The best way to describe the V3 is a revamped mouse of the Razer Viper V2, where the hump on the V3 is raised towards the knuckles. In fact, the lower part of the hump is very similar to the V2. While I see some similarities between the Superlight 2 and Razer Viper V3, I would say they have almost the same length, but they do feel completely different. So who is this mouse for? It's for someone with a slender hand. If you have a wide palm, I would say you will not be comfortable using the Viper V3. The mouse has a slim shape and long. So I would say if you tried the Ninja Susora V1, you will feel at home using the Razer Viper V3. Buttons are the best I've tried. They're very crisp and sharp. There is no pre-travel, but I think there is a slight post-travel. So if I try to click the mouse, it immediately actuates, but if you notice slight, you see this distance here, this is a post-travel. So now I will fully release. But really, they're very fast, and I really do like them and enjoy them. So I would say you can neglect the post-travel. The Viper V3 has the best buttons I've tried, period. I don't think there are other gaming mice with better switches than the switches on the Viper V3. Also, there is an inward curve on the buttons, unlike the SL2. This helps you lock in your fingers more and give you better control. Alright, so talking about coating, coating is rubbery and muddy feeling. It feels more rubbery than the Superlight 2, but less rubbery than the Vaxi or the Zowie. I would say Vaxi and Zowie has better coating. I would say the coating is more rubbery on the Viper V3 than the coating on the SL2, which feels more plasticky actually if you compare them. The coating on the Viper V3 is slippery, so you might need to use some stickers which come with the Viper V3. I don't think it's grippy enough. Scroll wheel is decent. Size wise is between the Superlight 2 and the Viper V2, so it's in the medium. So this has the largest scroll wheel, this is medium size, and the Viper V2 has the smallest. Out of these three, I would prefer the scroll wheel on the V2, which is the smallest. It feels more stable than these two, and I would say also the scroll wheel on the Viper V3 is stable, but it's more stable on the V2, and there is no rattling on it, doesn't move, but it feels like when you use the scroll wheel on the V2 it's more stable. So talking about the feet of the Viper V3, it's actually very slippery compared to other mice I used. Like even when you touch it, it feels very smooth. So I noticed that the Superlight 2 would have more stopping power. Like I'm touching this and I feel like I can't move my finger as fast as I'm moving on the Viper V3. So there is more stopping power on the SL2. And I'm using the GSR2 from Vaxi, which feels a little bit on the medium smoothness. It's not smooth or it's not rough, it's just on the medium. So I think when you use the Viper V3, you might want to adjust your sensitivity. You probably want to decrease it because the feet are very slippery. Side buttons, the placement of the side buttons is very good. Clicking the side buttons felt much easier than say on the SL2, where I needed to adjust my grip after clicking the side buttons. This is because your hands are not as locked in as your hand on the Viper V3, so it's easier for you to just click the side buttons and return back to the normal position. So you will not lose your grip. Now that I have finished using the Viper V3 after 2 weeks, I think I can give final thoughts about it. At the beginning it was difficult to adjust to the grip because it has an aggressive style grip, and even after I adjusted, it felt that my hand more restrained compared to other mice. It felt more professional to use. I did land some cool shots with this mouse and performed as expected from Razer. It felt more professional to use, yet less fun. It was very pleasing only when I clicked mouse 1 and 2 buttons. The buttons are actually insane. I can't stress enough how good these buttons are. You won't find buttons better than the Razer Viper V3. I would say get this mouse if you want to improve your grip, because mice like these will help you adjust your grip to claw if you want to learn that. More in particular, aggressive claw. Just like when I first used the Sora V1, it really helped me learn how to claw grip. Razer really improved the Viper V2 overall. It has better shape and better coating and better side buttons. It has the best clicks you can ask for. Alright, so now that I'm back to using my main mouse, the Superlight 2, and I also use the Viper V2 again, and I noticed that I actually can play better on the V2 compared to the Viper V3. It's probably because of the shape. I think the shape of the Viper V3 is tailored toward people who have long hands. Compared to my hand, I have wide palm hand, so probably this is why I still like to use the Viper V2 or the Superlight 2. So I think for now I will still play on the Superlight 2. Razer really did a great job with improving the Viper V2, something that we don't see Logitech try to do. I guess Logitech just tried to go with, if it works, why fix it? So I'm also gonna do the same thing. I'm not gonna change my main mouse. My main mouse so far is the Superlight 2. Probably this year I'm gonna try other gaming mice, and maybe at that time I will be changing my main gaming mouse. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy my content, please don't forget to subscribe and like my videos.